Politicians and celebrities make deals behind closed doors, promises broken. In their income source, hidden agendas run the grand parade. In the circus, choose a masquerade. Believe me, I wouldn't lie. I've been given money, power, and fame to keep you in line.
Welcome, everyone. I am doing a quick podcast update because I want to talk about histamine intolerance, mast cell activation syndrome, and because nobody really talks about what it's like to live in a home that has mold, even if it's not like a great amount of mold. If you're very reactive to mold and you have no choice, this is where you live, this is your home, or this is your city or state, and it's just a moldy city or state. You live in a humid area like I do. You're kind of stuck here. Your family's here, your friends here. You are here for at least a couple years until you can retire. So you've got to learn how to live with it. You're not going to be optimal, right? But we're going to do things every day to kind of make ourselves feel better and live as healthy as we can under these circumstances. And you cannot find really good information on this because everybody just says move, as if we're freaking wealthy, as if we can just quit our jobs and find another one somewhere, as if there's plentiful options, as if you can find lots of homes for sale right now. Anyways, so we're going to dive deep into living with mold, what you can do so that you can stick around and not feel as terrible as you would have if you did nothing and just succumb to it. So let's first off talk about these influencers who claim that they got rid of their mold illness, their histamine intolerance, their mast cell activation syndrome, all of their symptoms, their allergies, all that stuff, their food sensitivities, all that. They're just like, oh, I did all these things, and they list a whole bunch of things. And then when you really follow them and you look into it, it's because they moved to a different house, they moved to a different state, they moved to a different country, completely different environment, and that has a lot to do with it. Okay, so if you move to a new environment, it might not have the same mold. It might not have any mold. It might have no VOC issues, different ones, good air quality, poor air quality. It's just going to be different. So moving can temporarily or even permanently alleviate your symptoms because you're no longer exposed to the specific mold or the specific allergens that you are sensitive to. But, and this is a big but, it doesn't mean that the solutions they advocate are like a real fix or not a real fix. It just means that it really makes a huge difference to change locations because environments vary and what works in one place might not work in another. So moving to a new place might delay the onset of symptoms. Like if you're not sensitive to the new mold or the new pollen or the new VOCs or whatever in that area, it can take months, maybe years, maybe never that, your body will react. And I personally experienced like going to other states, like maybe here I'm allergic to, let's say I know people who are really allergic here to specific flowers when they're blooming and pollen's everywhere, right? But then when they go to another state, they could be covered head to toe, orange, yellow, whatever, with pollen. Everybody who lives there and that has histamine issues and are sensitive, they're miserable. And the person who normally is miserable for those type of things, because they are not exposed to that one, they don't get any symptoms yet. But if they live there, if they move there, then they would, right? So think of it like that. So now looking into healthy versus actually being healthy, because a lot of these influencers, they might use GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic to manage their weight, and that will visibly seem to lower the inflammation. This does not equate true health, right? They can still have symptoms behind, and you don't know about that. So, and these drugs can lead to very serious long-term issues like blindness, chronic IBS, muscle loss, severe osteoporosis. There's 30-year-olds that went on Ozempic for a few months and they have like massive bone density loss. So like they can break a hip at 35. It's crazy. So health is more than just appearance. So back to you. So if you can't move, here's what we are doing living in South Florida where mold thrives. Humidity is crazy. All homes are designed poorly for ventilation, right? horrible. They are made for what? For insulation, so that energy costs go down, and they're made to withstand hurricanes. They are not made to be able to handle the air exchange and the quick drying abilities that are required for this humid climate. Nobody cared about that when they were building homes. All right. So for your bathrooms, what we did, we added very high quality air extractors in place, because we used to just have like windows. Like for code, you could just have a window and then you would just open the window to like get the humidity out. But no, we got the moisture extractors. And side note, never run dehumidifiers and these moisture extractors unattended, because there are electrical fire risks involved with using these things. We need to use them, but there are risks involved. The other one is leaks. If there's evidence of water damage, cut out that drywall, replace it. And there's this more expensive water resistant types of drywall. And also reseal your grout everywhere, because grout will seep down to like the ground and like can cause mold underneath it. So seal your grout, replace and cut drywall if there's any damage, even if you think it's so minor. Foundations and exteriors, you have to make sure your home never had any flooding on the perimeter, right? So for ours, because there was poor drainage, we had to install gutters, raise like the land against the home a little bit so that water would drain away and towards the street and not pool or anything around the house. And then we systematically started replacing the lower few inches of drywall, one wall at a time, all over the perimeter of the house. It's crazy. And how do we do that? So to check for mold, you're going to rip out the baseboards. Yeah, you can put them back if there's no mold, all right, if you don't break them, but you can put them back, all right? Rip off the baseboards. If you see mold behind it, red flag, start cutting. If you pull it off and it looks okay still, you can go online. There's a cheap like attachment camera, like a snake camera that you can put behind the walls to kind of look around and also just smell around. I know you're getting mold into you, oh my God, but if it's not a lot and you want to make sure, just smell and you can freaking tell. The other one is around the home. We also put a lot of rocks, sand, grout, and everything like that around to like help make that get away from the walls of the house. Also keep landscaping like away so that you don't have to, so there's no moisture like loving plants near your foundation. You want to have a couple feet away, or you want to have the type of plants that suck up a lot of moisture and don't need a lot of moisture. So either or. But the other thing, keep trees away from your house. Keep them a safe distance away, because the roots can go under and ruin your foundation and cause leaks and holes, and then moisture can get in. It's just a big mess. So be very careful with your landscaping. Also, keep your AC low to maintain indoor humidity levels as low as possible. Get humidity checkers. There's these little things you can put in every room, little digital things. And some of them even tell you VOCs, which is really great, because those are probably going to give you irritation if you have mold. VOCs are you're going to be more sensitive to those things. So get those little checkers, put them in every room, and you're going to note, because of this, where you need to put dehumidifiers and where you probably get away with not putting them in your home by constantly monitoring these little guys. Also, put the air filters in every single room. It's better to have a small one or like a countertop one that you have in the small bathrooms or whatever, just to have something in there in every single room, rather than getting those super expensive ones for the whole house or for the most square footage as possible. Just get a lot of cheaper little ones. And the other thing is when we replace the drywall, paint can be a problem, because VOCs, even low VOC, it's toxic as hell. You're going to react like crazy. So we spent a little more money and we got actual, real, legitimate lime wash paint, which is naturally mold resistant. No VOCs, plus mold resistant. And it's gorgeous. A little more money, worth it. 100% worth it. Indoor practices. Avoid using anything that adds humidity to your home. Clean up your spills quickly. Use drip trays under sinks, under your AC to catch water immediately. I also put like something metal so that you hear a ding, ding if there's any drips anywhere, so I can immediately handle that so it doesn't get bad. Air quality, again, dehumidifiers everywhere you can that needs it. Check the thing. And HEPA air filters, every room. Better to have a lot of cheap HEPA air filters than have just one or two really expensive ones. You want to have them in every room. If mold is visible and not just hiding behind a few walls or not just a little bit in the vents, you need to probably call somebody to properly remove it. And I know you want to do it yourself, but it can be extremely dangerous to do it yourself, especially if you have symptoms. If there's somebody in your friends or family that do not have any symptoms, they're like just much healthier. They don't have the genes that make it hard to detox mold. They don't have the estrogen elevated that makes it hard to detox mold, whatever. If they have none of those situations, you can have them help you, right? So you want to make sure you use large plastic sheets and tape them all off to like tape off areas. Cover the mold when you're removing the drywall and stuff. Cover it in plastic, seal it up, and then take it out of the house or throw it out the window, whatever. Use a mask, fit it properly, and tape around your mask. This is like really bad stuff. Yes. So make sure. Oh yeah, and of course, grout sealers. Yes, grout sealers are really good. You need to seal grout everywhere and redo it. People don't know, like they've only had their grout sealed when it was made. Ozone generators, I think they do work. The problem is they destroy all the wiring and electronics. So like you're going to have to either replace the wiring and find a way to remove all your electronics from the house. It's up to you. Okay. So try to use all the precautions a professional would take when removing mold. Know that you're probably going to need frequent air breaks if you're being exposed to it, and it's gonna make everything worse, but it is what it is. Get a tent, sleep in the tent for a few days. Plan for it. When you're taking out mold, plan to go sleep in the tent, get some fresh air, whatever you need to do. Go into the woods. I don't know. Okay. So that'll give you some time to recover a little bit and a break from exposure at the very least. Now for supplements to manage mold illness, to lower your histamines and help you detox, you need to unblock your lymphatic system. Daily rebounding. If you can't get a rebounder, which is like a trampoline that you just kind of like, you just have to bounce on it, whatever, like 110 times, do as much as you can, 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day. That's fine. If you can't do that, you're going to do 100 jumps straight up and down twice a day, in the morning and then before you go to bed, 100 jumps. And that's going to help your lymphatic system. You're also going to start learning how to do facial, full body lymphatic drainage. You can look it up online. There's lots of videos for that because it's super important and super helpful. And when you see people who are puffy like this, like I'm puffy over here, that's because lymphatic flow, because I'm dealing with that stuff in the air a little bit. Even though it's like mostly gone, we still have like a room and a bathroom left. All right, so dry brushing is another great thing you can do after you take a bath. Make sure you do that. Saunas, I do saunas 3 times a week. I'm not as diligent as I should be. You're supposed to do it every day, right? But I try to do at least 3 times a week. Epsom salt baths, vital to help open up detox pathways. They're really great for you because the heat from doing like a really hot bath will help you like sweat in the bath a little bit, open things up. And then the Epsom salts, you need that because you need to replenish that. Okay. So do not do high intensity exercises. No stressful workout. You're going to be walking a lot. You're going to be doing Pilates. You're going to be doing gentle weightlifting. You're not going to be stressing your body out. Your body's under too much stress. You're going to start getting puffier and gain more weight if you add things when you're under stress like this. Liver and kidneys, you need to support them. They are going through a lot of stress. So for the liver, consider milk thistle, dandelion roots, and turmeric. For your kidneys, stay hydrated with spring water. Use dandelion leaf. You can get the tinctures. You can get like glycerin tinctures that you can take easily. You can also get teas, stuff like that, organic, whatever. And consider cranberry supplements because that'll help support your bladder. But don't do too much because I think cranberries can give you reflux and we don't want that. So with moderation. Also, some additional supplements that are just for like the histamines and the mast cells. Quercetin is known for its antihistamine properties. It can stabilize mast cells, reduces the release of histamines, and it's recommended for both MCAS, which is MCAS, whatever, and histamine intolerance. But certain gene mutations will make your histamines worse if you have those gene mutations. So you have to be careful. And if you feel worse taking it, stop. It's probably you. Vitamin C. It can help degrade histamines in the body by converting it into a form that can be eliminated more easily. It also has an antioxidant effect, which can help reduce inflammation. And my favorite one is a liquid one. I store it in the fridge. It's available in the dispensary in the description below. The next one is bromelain, found in pineapples. Bromelain has an anti-inflammatory effect. It's antihistamine effect. It's safe and it's beneficial for reducing symptoms associated with mast cells. DAO, diamine oxidase enzyme. This is an enzyme and it breaks down histamines in the digestive tract. Supplementing with DAO can be particularly helpful for those with histamine intolerance, especially before consuming high histamine foods. Let's see, I have it right here. It's these little teensy weensy pills. I'll take like 6 of them if I'm not sure about what I'm eating or has high histamines. Bam. Okay. Next up, we have magnesium. It's essential for biochemical reactions in the body, like hundreds or thousands of them, like crazy. Magnesium can help in stabilizing mast cells, reducing histamine release, and supporting overall immune function. So get magnesium, but get the right magnesium. So it's going to be magnesium malate and magnesium threonate. These are your go-to magnesiums. Love them, find them. They're hard to find. You're not going to find these over the counter. Good luck. Get those. Stay away from the oxide, the ones that make you go to the bathroom. You need real magnesium that stay in your body and do stuff, not the ones that make you go to the restroom. That's not what we need. The next is stinging nettle. So it's often used in herbal medicine. It has antihistamine effects and it can alleviate symptoms like your itching, your sneezing, skin issues, stuff like that happen with histamine release. Probiotics, certain strains, like I'm going to try to say this, Lactobacillus rhamnosus and Bifidobacterium infantis can support your gut health and potentially reducing histamine production or aiding in its degradation. So you have to be careful because a lot of probiotics are beneficial for histamines, but some can increase them. So you have to look up each. Oh yeah, magnesium glycinate is another one that you can try too. So those 3, stick to those. Anyways, so make sure you check all of the probiotics in the probiotic that you choose and make sure that it does not increase histamines. It can keep them the same, but you want lower. But stay away from anything that raises histamines. Now you need a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, a lot, found in fish oil. There's also, I think, cod liver oil or something might have them. Anyways, it's anti-inflammatory and it helps with managing all your symptoms. When you don't have a lot of omega-3s in your diet, you're more likely to have like more reactions from the histamines. B6, it plays an integral role in the synthesis, I can't say that right, synthesis of DAO, diamine oxidase, thus aiding in histamine breakdown. So you need that to create the diamine oxidase, which is supposed to naturally be occurring, but you're not making enough. So take the precursors to the thing you need in your gut that you're already having trouble producing. Butterbur, known for its use in treating allergies, it can help with symptoms like nasal congestion, sneezing, itching. Look for PA-free extracts to avoid liver toxicity. And the one I get is called Petadolex, right? In the dispensary. All right. There's another one, I don't know how to say this word, is luteolin, whatever. It's a flavonoid with potential antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective properties, and it helps stabilize mast cells. And it's luteolin, if you want to look that one up too. And you can find all these things in the dispensary below. All of the supplements, and there will be professional supplements. Professional supplements have to be treated and tested to make sure that they have what they say on the label. No one is regulating over-the-counter supplements. They are self-regulated, and we know what that means. Nobody's making sure they're stored in the correct temperature before shipping. They're usually stored in warehouses. God forbid you go to Amazon. It's going to be melted inside and useless, especially a probiotic, imagine. Beware also from over-the-counter retailers. They're not going to have the same quality or the newest stuff, and they don't store it usually properly. They're also not allowed to sell professional supplements. So at the best, they'll work, but they might be a little expired, so they'll be a little less effective. But at the absolute worst, you don't know what's in them, if there's anything good in them at all, or there could be something bad for you. And never, ever, ever, ever buy anything on Amazon that goes inside your body or on your body. Be very careful. People have been losing stuff, getting cancers, a whole bunch of, oh my gosh. I would say, like, I'm just so scared of Amazon. I got a faucet once and the whole inside was lead. Only when I was testing my cups for lead, I had this crazy idea. Let me test my cups for lead. None of them had lead, but the water came out and it was like reacting to the little tester Q-tip thing. And then I stuck it up in there and it was pure red because it was 100% lead, the whole freaking pipe. Be aware of buying stuff on Amazon. There's nobody who's checking what these things are. They could be coated in poison. Amazon doesn't care. And Amazon will not give you the information so you can sue these people. So you are taking a huge risk. If you have any questions on supplements and interactions, the great first line of defense is to get to ChatGPT, add all of them, add your symptoms, add everything you feel, and it can help you. And if you need more help, you can find a functional medicine practitioner. And if you are in Florida or Georgia, you can call me and I can put you in touch with my husband. Make sure you are on a low histamine diet while living in a moldy home, right? Try to spend as much time as possible outside. Go for frequent walks, sit outside, get sunlight, especially before 10 a.m. It lowers histamines. Offer to walk the neighbor's dog to force yourself to be outside as much as possible. Have a high protein breakfast before 10 a.m., preferably in the sun. And do everything to let your body know it's safe, relaxation, gratitude, blah, blah, blah. Chill, get massages. You need to do all things to relax and de-stress. Be unbothered. Let stuff slide. Laugh it off. If you're not sleeping well, remember, sleeping longer than normal is needed if you have to live with mold. Sleeping is detoxing. Getting high quality sleep, 9 to 14 hours, the more the better, every night is going to help you deal with this massive stress. Remember that these steps are about managing and mitigating mold exposure in your current living situation, helping you live healthier despite the challenges that mold is presenting. So the ultimate solution, again, is to move to a clean environment that's been properly tested and vetted for mold down to the studs, then to detox. And if you're moving to another home in a humid climate, it might not alleviate your symptoms and you don't know what's behind those walls. And every home I know has been inspected and they ended up with mold. So good luck finding an inspector because they don't rip out the walls. This is another thing about inspectors. If it is a mild but still there thing, they're not going to find anything because they have to visibly see it. So the stuff that's hidden behind the walls, they can't see it. People think that they can see behind the walls. I don't know why they think an inspector can see they can't see behind the walls. They might open a little hole in the wall or something if you have a really good one and put a camera for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 walls or whatever. But that's the most you're going to get. They're not going to see behind the walls. There is just no way. So be very careful out there. And if you smell something weird, musty when you go to someone's house, leave, wish them well, tell them to watch this video and stay away. Yes. Anyways, that is all for today. please get into the comments and leave any comments. I'm going to do one more thing on histamine intolerance either by the end of this week or early next week with an entire list of everything I do so that you can just get it and follow that stuff so you know exactly what to do. Also, you can get into the Discord, and at any time, if you have any questions about this or anything health related, you can ask me. And if I need to ask my husband, he does functional medicine, I can ask him for you, just purely for entertainment purposes only. Remember that. Yeah, so that is all for today. Unless you guys have any questions or anything about that, I will be back tomorrow or the next day with another topic. I'm trying to do some more stuff on health this week. And yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the things, share it on Twitter. Twitter sharing is really nice. And I will see you all next time. Thanks again.
Start the revolution, let the truth begin. Wake up, defeating lies. Control the media's got you hypnotized. Trust authority, they'll take your soul. Break the chains, find your own control. Wake up.